And that's my cue to start the show. Welcome to another edition of the Hard Rock and Sports Show, live from high atop Hard Rock and Sports Studios in beautiful scenic Monroe, New Jersey. We are your 2-hour weekly get-together where we bring you all the biggest news from around the worlds of hard rock, heavy metal, of course, the wide world of sports. And everybody, welcome to Thursday night, June the 11th, in the year of our good Lord, 2026. Hope you guys have had a great week. It has been a very exhausting week this week for me. Too many Knick games to stay up late for. Hold on a second, I'll read something because so true. Okay, so I'm just responding. I hope you guys had a good week. It's been an exhausting week. I mean, just a normal week is tiring, and then you got a Knick game on Friday night, so you're tired. You get to the weekend, you do your weekend stuff. You got a Knick game Monday night, and then a Knick game last night. And Monday night's game, I didn't get to bed till probably 11:30, and last night was well after midnight before I got to bed. I stayed up for the game, and folks, there's a lot to talk about. We could talk about the both football teams basically putting a bow on the off season, and I got to tell you, it's probably the quietest off season OTAs mini camp I can remember for either New York team. It's quiet. It was quiet. I mean, I didn't even realize. Now, I know the Knicks and maybe even the Yankees, a little bit Yankees, but mostly Knicks, the fanfare, they have dominated. The Knicks have dominated this the last couple of months with their amazing wins in Atlanta and Philly, Cleveland, and now this really tough, really interesting series against the Spurs. But the football season is now officially done until the end of July. We will be sitting around now until the end of July, and there is no football. Everybody's out for 7 weeks. There will be very little to talk about till about the mid-July, and it's weird. It's that weird time of year. And I guess for the next week, maybe this week, next week, we'll get some basketball in. We'll swing into some baseball. We'll see. Maybe we'll take a week or so off along the way. Maybe right before the 4th. I think that the 3rd, we might not do a show, but we'll certainly be back here for the 10th. Although, no, that would be the 9th, the 2nd and the 9th. The 10th is actually Hefe's birthday, so we'll do if he's available on July 9th, we will do the Hard Rock and Sports Jeff birthday show, which I try to do every year. We'll try to get some guests, maybe some people who will send Jeff some messages and all that good stuff. So, but we got to get from here till then, and then it's football season. And listen, it's been a really interesting offseason for both New York teams. Obviously, some controversy with the Giants with the political bullshit. The Jets quietly have rebuilt their roster, much like the Giants have. Again, we'll analyze it to death, but it's still the gaping hole for the New York Jets. Possibly is at quarterback. I don't think there's any question that is the biggest, probably unknown. Can Geno Smith reach back to 2 or 3, 4 years ago and be that quarterback, or even close to that quarterback, or will we see the Geno of last year, who basically was horrendous? So I think that'll go a long way to determine the Jets season, of course. But quietly, both teams have done a lot to revamp their rosters. It's a second year for Aaron Glenn, so we'll see what second year brings. Has he learned from last year's mistakes? If not, he might not get a chance to finish his second year. For the Giants, new head coach, lots of turnover in the roster, a revitalization of the franchise, first since the days of Tom Coughlin. We've had coaching changes, too many of them, but nothing feels like Tom Coughlin's change when he took over from Fossil as this one does, when you get the established adult in the room and John Harbaugh comes in, rebuilds the roster in his image, and you hope that it transpires into the same success he had in Baltimore. Super Bowl title, multiple playoff appearances. and just a changing of the, we've had great seasons from the Giants, win Super Bowls, but you'd have a 2007 Super Bowl, 3 bad years, a 2011 Super Bowl, and then nothing. It's time to get some consistency where we make the playoffs and we're a dangerous team. We'll see. We'll analyze it to death come July. We'll break the teams down. We'll do all of that stuff for you. But for right now, it's all about the Knicks. It is all about the New York Knickerbockers. And what a series it's been. I'll wait for Jeff to get back to his chair, and then we'll get the show started with Jeff. But you couldn't write this up if you tried. Last night's game was absolutely the most frustrating, disturbing, joyful game I've ever watched. I can't imagine I can think of another game where the emotions ranged from hatred of the referees to disappointment in your team to wait a minute to, oh my God, I can't believe they're back. So there's a lot to talk about with this one. I'll see how much Jeff's up on it. We'll spend a little bit of time on the Knicks. We got some rush. I want to talk about their set. We'll talk. We got a couple of lists to go through. I came up with an idea late, so I don't know if I screwed Jeff up, but I asked him to come up with his top 5 New York sports moments. It could be the plays, but to me, it's moments. So to me, I have 5 plays in a game that were my top moments for a New York team. So we'll talk about that. We got a quarterback pyramid. We got a few odds and ends, but it's going to be a lot of Knick talk. It's going to be a lot of basketball. So stick around. I hope you guys are having a good summer so far. Even though it's not officially summer, it's summer. I hope you guys are ready for the heat. We got a hot one today, and they're coming. So I hope you guys are ready. In the meantime, sit back, buckle up, Buttercup. It's time to talk a little Hard Rock and Sports with Jeff and Tom. Hold on one second for me to get Jeff on, and let's kick the show off. Hefe.
What's up, man?
What's up, my man? Jeff, how was your week?
A long one, but it's over, thank God.
Jeff, I have to start off with a little something from last week's show, if you don't mind. So this weekend, I sat back. I went a little record shopping. Me, my wife, and I went record shopping. I bought a couple of new old ones.
Okay.
I bought Rush's Fly By Night. I bought a new one from. I bought one that was missing from my Cheap Trick collection. Although I didn't realize there was a $5 Cheap Trick album. I bought that one. I'm trying to think what else I bought. I bought something else in the rock world. Anyway, and then so I came home on Sunday after doing all that, and I reorganized and I moved my album collection right next to me. So anytime during the show,
Tom, I'm sorry, I have to take a call real quick.
Go ahead, do your thing.
I'm sorry, I was expecting this early. I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
Go ahead, do your thing. So anyway, get into a little bit of last night's game. The frustration level early was incredible. The level of hatred for the refs and the admiration, to be honest with you, for how well the San Antonio Spurs were playing. I mean, I can't think of too many times I've seen a team shoot the ball that well. It was incredible. It's like they couldn't miss. And you got up to about 29 points and then 27 at the half, and you're sitting there saying, should I go to bed? It's 10:30. I'm exhausted. Let's go to bed. Let's call it a day. And I wound up hanging with it. And you watch the second half, and you're watching a little bit of a run from 27 to 21 to 19, back to 21, 22. And you're going, if they can get to the fourth quarter and it's low double digits, it's 12, maybe you got a shot. And the next thing you know, it's 15, and you're back and forth, 15, 18, 15, 18. Then it's 12 and 15. And then the next minute, you're at single digits. And then you could see it. The Spurs looked like a team that was a bunch of deer in headlights. And all of a sudden, they couldn't make a shot. They're throwing for a team for the first half. I don't think they had a turnover. I don't think they missed 3 shots. All of a sudden, they couldn't put the ball in the ocean, and they could not throw the ball away. They could not make the dumb play, bouncing it off their feet. And the next thing you know, it's 3 minutes left, and it's a 4-point game. No, the game was not without its controversy. The game was not without its big plays. And I'll tell you, I'll go right to the meat of it is at the end of that, the Knicks come back. They win in dramatic fashion on OG Anunoby's tip-in. They make multiple mistakes. A game that they thought was completely over. And the question I'm going to ask Jeff, whether he saw the game or not, whether he's paid an ounce of attention to the series, is when you're a young team, average age probably in the mid-20s or lower, and you lose a game in that fashion, you're now down 3-1 in the series. You essentially have to sweep the rest of the way. You've basically dominated every single game to this point. The Spurs have been the better team. They've probably led more in this league, in this series. They've done everything but win games. That's it. They've done everything else. They've pressured the ball. They've made their shots. They've played defense. They've rebounded. To a small sense, they've intimidated the Knicks. And yet the Knicks are up 3-1. If you're San Antonio, you're on the flight home and you're going home for game 5 with a chance to lose the title in your building, can you recover? That is the question. Who's that guy on the Spurs team that you say is going to rally the troops? Who's that veteran presence? De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is not that guy. He made the biggest mistake of all last night. He had a chance with 9 seconds left to run out the clock a little bit, get fouled, take 2 free throws, make the game a 3-point game, but instead raced down the court, didn't eat up time, went for a layup that, if he makes it, they're up 3 anyway. Gets his shot blocked, changed that whole sequence. The Knicks get the ball over half court, and the rest is history. Brunson takes the 3, misses it. OG comes in, makes the tip in, and they win the game. So De'Aaron Fox is the guy that you would think would be that guy to rally the troops, but he was as lost as the rest of them. The Knicks are up 24, and they can't hit they couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat, and they're still shooting threes. I heard it on the post game show. They took and missed 8 straight threes. At some point, you got to go, okay, fellas, let's take one into the paint. Harper was killing the Knicks going to the hoop. He was killing the Knicks. And they didn't do it. And little by little, the Knicks are chipping back. Again, 22, 24, 22, 19, 21. Okay, it's 15 now. Now it's 18. Next thing you know, you're in single digits, and the Spurs had no answers. They're a bunch of young kids playing in the mecca of basketball, mecca of arenas, but the mecca of basketball with stars all around you. Immortal Knicks are at one end of the court. You got movie stars. You got pro athletes. A-Rod's in the building. You got Steve Sharippa. You got Ben Stiller. You got Rock. You got Chalamet. You got Spike Lee. Again, you're a 20, 21, 22-year-old kid who can't figure it out, and you look around, and wherever you are, you go, wow. And your eyes are big, and you just that little hesitation of what should I do kills you as an athlete. It's a killer. What should I do is a killer. Hesitancy as a pro athlete or athlete at any level is a killer. So, Jeff, what I was just about to get into with you is, I know you probably haven't watched much of or at all of the series with the Knicks, other than maybe some highlights. Read the aftermath, see some stuff on TV or whatever. So, my point to you is going to be, I'll kind of sum up the series. I would tell you, if they've played 4 games, 16 quarters, I will bet you the Knicks have been outplayed in 12 of those quarters, like completely outplayed. The Spurs have had double-digit leads in the first quarter in every game. Last night, they're up by 29 points at one point, 27 points at the half. Couldn't miss, didn't have a turnover in the first half. You've outplayed the Knicks every step of the way. You've been faster. You've been better on You've been better pressuring the ball. You've shot the ball better. You've done everything better, Jeff, but win the game. You're a bunch of young kids, okay? 21, 22. I think Wemby's 20. You're a bunch of young kids. I think the oldest guy in the team, the veteran's like 28. You've now lost 3 of those 4 games, 2 of them at home. Now you're going back home to game 5. You have to now win 3 straight games. Jeff, do you see any way that a young team like that can recover from a loss like that and go ahead and win the series?
I don't see it. I don't care if they were a veteran team or a young team. Winning 3 in a row on the NBA level, especially at the level they're at now, is a hard task. And not for nothing, the games have been close.
Yeah.
And listen, I think that while everything you're saying is true, I think that the one thing you're forgetting to mention is how resilient of a Knicks team this is. You're not down by 29 points and come back and win the game because you were lucky. Even though that play was pretty unbelievable, without a doubt. But, it takes some skill to be up 3 games to 1 at this point in time in the series. I would love to see them, San Antonio win in San Antonio and have the Knicks come back and win it at the Garden. But at this point in time, I'm thinking that San Antonio is a dangerous team. They can't fuck around. They gotta come out. They gotta beat them, and that's that. And end this as soon as possible. Don't worry about winning it at home. Just go out there and win. Period.
Well, let me just finish your talk.
They don't have to win by 30 points to impress me. That this is a Knicks team that just 5 or 6 years ago was a team that wasn't even in the playoffs, so couldn't make the playoffs, and their salary cap was so bad it didn't look like they would ever make a run at anything. Yeah. And now they've improved steadily the last 3 or 4 seasons in a row. So, listen, we haven't had a championship basketball team since 1973. It's time. Let them go out there and just win, and that's that.
I agree, and I think and you're right. I mean, the Knicks have been very resilient, but if you're the Spurs, let's say you're the Spurs, and it's the middle of the third quarter, and you're playing really well, and you're up 15 points, like at that point, there still has to be doubt in the back of your head. You've blown leads of 29, of 15, of 12 in various parts of different games, and no matter how well you play. And again, they played the first 2.5 quarters of basketball in that game yesterday, as well as any game you've ever watched, and still came out of that with a loss. So to me, the seed of doubt in a young team, there's not a veteran guy on this team, Jeff, where you'd say he's going to rally the troops and tell them, listen, don't worry, it's one game. You don't have that guy on this team that's going to bring them all together and say, hey, I've been there before. We got this. I mean, the coach is a 39-year-old first-year head coach. I mean, they're 2 or 3 years from now, this Spurs team is going to be a tough team. Right now, I think they're emotionally shot. I mean, do you see a way?
Listen, they're a tough team now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I said, it's not like they're getting blown out. They're not losing by 25 a night. They were winning and they were up for how long, and now all of a sudden, bang, they're in a bad way. This, to me, I mean, these teams, even in the NBA, it seems like they have a short shelf life. So, in 3 years, who knows? Both of these teams may be in a total rebuild by that time. You don't know.
Yeah.
The better these guys play, the more money they're going to be looking to get, and the less they're going to be able to keep a whole core team like this together. So there's a lot involved with fielding a winner. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, there's no doubt. It's extremely tough. And, people have been complaining. I'm sure you've heard this because it was been a huge topic. And I think rightfully so. It's felt like the referees have had their thumb on the scale. Then there's, game 3, second half, the Spurs take 22, 24 foul shots to the Knicks 8. The Knicks lose by 1 point, by 4 points, excuse me. Did you see the Wemby punch to the head of Jalen Brunson on. Did you see that?
I've seen some of the highlights, like you said. I didn't want to watch any of it because I'm afraid it'll jinx them, to be honest, which I never watched basketball all year. I would love to watch some more of it, but I've seen a lot of the highlights, and it looks like Wemby is a physical player.
He's dirty, flat out dirty, and they say it's because he played in Europe and he's from Europe, and the young kids play against the older guys, and they got to play hard, and they get beaten up. He's a dirty player. He swings the elbow. There's a lot of dirtiness with that. He goes for the head a lot. He's that guy who was always the big kid around, and he pushed everybody around, and until somebody knocks him down. And, losing this series might be that. And the Knicks pushed him around last night. He was on the floor quite a bit. He didn't get the calls that he usually got. But what I argue with people today was, I don't think the league cares if Wemby wins, the Knicks win. I don't think the league doesn't give a shit who wins the series. In fact, I think they'd rather see the Knicks win because it's the Knicks. The Knicks, this is huge. The amount of coverage. If this was, the Nets and the Spurs, nobody would care. But it's the Knicks. If it won in 50 years, what the league wanted, Jeff, was not to be done in 4 games. The league wants 6 or 7 games. They want to finish this at the very least back in New York in Game 6. So to me, this wasn't about the referees, and all the conspiracy theories out there. And we know buddies who have a lot of conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
But the conspiracy theory here is that they want Wemby, the face of the NBA, to win a title, and I don't believe that. I don't think they care who wins. I just don't think they want it to end in 4 games. They want the extra seats, they want the extra air time, the extra TV time.
They all want that, yeah. But the Knicks can't worry about that. And Frank Catalano, just so you know, the next team to win an NA championship is going to be the New York Yankees. Definitely going to be the New York Yankees, without a doubt.
I would agree.
Without a doubt.
I would agree. I'm not sure it's this year. Judge being out for a couple of months is going to hurt.
Couple months he's out for?
Well, they say it's the injury he has is like a 6 to 8 week, or could be a little bit longer. He's got a stress fracture or some sort of fracture to the rib. So he's out for 6 to 8 weeks. So the best you're going to see him back is sometime in August, which is fine. The Yankees will do well. They'll play well enough. They'll be in it. He'll come back. And if they get the pitching staff going, they could conceivably win this year. They are good enough. They are better than the most American League teams. But the National League teams are just so good. I'm not sure. But, Jeff, I agree with you. The Giants are a few years for even talking about it. The Jets need a quarterback before you can talk about it. The hockey teams aren't good. You're probably right. It would probably be the Yankees.
Yeah, I mean, they're the only other team that's built for now.
Yeah. Again, even Jets and the Jets have to solve the quarterback problem, and then you can start having that conversation. And again, there's still things to talk about with the coach and some of the other things. The Giants, we got to see. Stay healthy. Dart's got to get his head up out of his ass and into playbooks. And you know what Dart reminded me of? Jeff, I wanted to tell you the other day. He reminded me of how I felt when I watched the early days of Mark Sanchez. And what I mean by it was, Sanchez came out, he played well, and he became a star. He was dating Eva Longoria. He was at all the big parties. He was Mark Sanchez. He was tattooed on his coach's arm. And
but he was mostly that because of being in New York. This was a guy that had trouble breaking 200 yards a game.
100%.
I think you could count the 300 games he had on one hand in his career.
100%. But he was ascending to a place. And what you heard and what I read and what people talked about was he wasn't putting the effort in behind the scenes. He wasn't doing, the time in the film room. He wasn't studying. And Rex Ryan didn't care. They were winning. They went to 2 AFC championship games with him at quarterback. Not because of him, because the rest of the team was so good. But I get nervous with Jackson Dart that he's in that same mode where you see some ability, you think there's something there, and then every week I got to see him at the Kentucky Derby. I got to see him at political rallies. And while I don't care, I could care less. Do what you want to do. It's your life. You're young. Make sure that when game day starts, Jeff, you're ready to play football and you're ready to lead your team.
Well, let's see what happens with Jackson Dart. Wow. Actually, Mark Sanchez recorded 12 300 yards passing games
Yeah.
in the NFL. I wouldn't be too hard on Jackson Dart just yet.
Not yet.
You know,
You're right.
let's see what happens. Give him some time. He's going to be his second year in the league. His first year is the starter, you know, hopefully from beginning to end. And you got to see what he does. And I'm not going to say that he's bad and this is a distraction. I don't think he's being a distraction, to be honest with you. So, you know, as far back as like he went and introduced the president. So what? All he did was introduce him, and that's it. You know, he's not at political rallies once a week. He's all right. So he goes to the Kentucky Derby. So what? So, you know, he's not getting pulled over in the middle. Listen, there's far worse guys in the NFL right now that are a more distraction to their team and more apt to hurt themselves than Jackson Dart. If I was more worried about Jackson Dart, to be honest with you, about him learning how to slide and not get decapitated at the end of some of his running plays, and just let him remember you're a quarterback.
True.
You may be a big boy, but you can't do some of the things that you were doing last year.
Hey, Frankie, I think it was the Colts and the Steelers, right? One of those two games that the Jets lost AFC Championship games to? I know one was the Steelers for sure. They had a terrible first half. Steelers got out.
Yeah, that was the Steelers.
And then they made a charge at the end. I'm pretty sure the other one was the Colts, but they definitely went to back-to-back AFC championship games for sure.
I don't remember whatever.
But yeah, listen, you know, we're getting off topic. I want to stay on the Knicks a little bit, but so let's kick it back to Knicks. So let's get my pops. I'm sure he's going to want to talk about the Knicks, and then we'll come back. We got the rush set list. We're going to talk about. I got a bunch of other lists. Top 5 New York sports moments. Or plays, whatever Jeff comes up with. We got the World Cup. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got Chris Robinson and a lot more Knicks stuff for it. Frankie, it was 2009, 2010. You can go back and check me. I'm pretty sure it was 2009, 2010. It was right before or right after the Giants went to the Super Bowl. So it could have been 11 and 12, but it's in that time frame.
Oh, it wasn't that long. It wasn't that late.
Yeah, it was probably 8, 9, 9, and 10, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely in. I think it was in between those two giant Super Bowls that they went there. But I'm guarantee you I'm right. The teams, I could be off on the one team, but for sure, one of them was Pittsburgh. I remember watching it at the Surf Club, and the Jets were terrible in the first half. And then they tried to mount a late charge, and they just missed winning it. Right, Steelers and Colts. Yeah, I knew I was right with that one. The Colts, I was a little, but let's get my pops on. Let's talk a little with him, and then we'll get back to this conversation. Hey, Pop.
What's up, guys?
How you doing, Pop? How are you?
Good.
You tired, Pop? Were you up late last night?
Yes, 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
I tell you, I saw the 69 with Willis Reed, and I thought that was one of the best games. Didn't compare.
But you know, here's the question, Pop, that I'll ask you. I agree with you. It's probably the greatest Knick game of all time. But let me ask you this question: when have the Knicks, other than maybe fourth quarter in three of the 4 games, when have the Knicks really played well in this series? They really have not. They have not played. Yeah, maybe, and again, maybe fourth quarters they play better defense for some reason. They would throw the ball away, especially in the first half. They just throughout the game they throw the ball away a lot. They miss a lot of shots. They make a lot of stupid passes, and yet they find a way to win. So I don't understand. Is this a great Knick team or a bad San Antonio team? I don't know where.
I think it's a good team, but that OG. I always liked him.
Oh,
and
boy.
This kid he's the heart and soul of the team. He was the one started charging the lane.
Yep.
He did everything.
Yep.
He went in rebounds. He was shooting all over.
Yeah.
Not that the other ones would play, but he didn't give a damn if he got hit or not.
No.
And if you saw towards the end of the game, that skinny looking thing try to break his kneecap.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
somebody sent me a video of that. I saw it.
They tried to take his leg out.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, if that's legit, I don't know how, if you're the league, I don't know how you don't do something about it. I mean, this is about the third time he's tried to hurt somebody in this.
Money.
And
Anytime.
I get it. You take him out of the next game, and I guess can I ask you a question there, Jeff? I'll ask you first, and Pop, you go. Can you suspend somebody, Jeff, for trying to hurt somebody like that?
Why not? It's blatant. You can end somebody's career. Listen, it's one thing if you both jump up for a pass or jump up for a rebound or something, and you push the guy out of your way. Okay, you're playing hard, but when you're going at his knee, you're looking to do. That's not playing hard, man. Come on, that has nothing at all to do with basketball.
Yeah,
If
you're right.
that was a hockey game, that guy get his ass kicked the rest of the series.
Yeah, again, Pop, he's a dirt. I don't. People say he's chippy or he plays hard. He's a dirty player. He's a dirty
player.
Yeah.
What he needs is to go up against somebody that don't give a damn.
Yeah,
and smacks him around
yeah,
because he's a skinny blunt.
yeah. Well,
And
I
you
mean,
wouldn't do that with Will Chamberlain, Bill Russell,
oh
even
no,
Willis Reed.
yeah.
They crippled them. And that's
Correct.
what's going to have to happen.
The problem
The
for the
league's
Knicks
not
is
going to do nothing.
no. The problem for the Knicks is every game they're so far behind that you can't possibly do the go after him the way you want. You look up last night, they were down to a dozen points before 3 minutes was up. So you can't, and they had 3 or 4 fouls early in the last 2 games. So to me, I said it before the game, I would have put my 4th string center out there, and the very first play of the game, I just would have just drilled him into the ground. I would take the flagrant foul, take the 2 points,
Sometimes
just drill him in.
just to seeing that this guy on the court can straighten him out without even doing it. You don't even have to hit him. Just when they put that, I forgot his name, in.
Oh, Richard Robinson
No, when they sat what's his name down.
when he sat Cat, or
They
they sat
put in-
Brunson.
Then they put in that guy, I forgot it. He's the 3rd center on the team.
Oh yeah, Dewari
They
or
should've-
something. Yeah.
Just him on the court, you know what he's there for.
Yeah, absolutely. I would put in the 3rd or 4th string guy and just tell him, I don't care if you get thrown out of this game, you're never going to see another minute anyway. Drill him in the side of the head. When he goes up, take his legs out and fall on his neck. I teach him the biggest lesson that he was ever taught.
While I hear you and I understand your point, you want to know something, Tom? Right now, the Knicks are up 3-1. Stay focused. Keep playing the way you're playing. You're 1 game away from a championship, because you know what stings more than getting thrown to the floor? Losing. And if you get all the way to the NBA championship, the finals, and you lose, that's going to put a bad taste in your mouth for a very, very long time.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I'm with you. But sometimes that mentality works. I can tell you from personal experience.
If it was San Antonio up 3-1, I could say, all right, I see your point.
No, I wouldn't do it now.
The Knicks are 3-1. Just go out there and play hard. Be the better team. Bring the fucking trophy home. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, Dad, I asked Jeff this question. You've been watching all the games. You're San Antonio. You've dominated for 12 of the 16 quarters. You've been the better team, just lost 3 of the 4 games. Can they possibly rebound and win this series and win 3 games?
I don't see it. They're not savvy enough. They don't have a leader. This kid can't be the leader. They have nobody to put in there. And like OG, he took over the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
And he went smashing down the lane. He was hitting all over. Defensively, he was great. And I think they don't have that on the team.
No.
You see, after every bad call, or they thought was a bad call, they would go down and tell the guy, calm down. No, you want the guy to get mad, get angry.
Yeah.
Go into that hoops, throw them elbows around.
Yeah, no, listen. I thought the Knicks played hard. Wemby went up on the ground a lot last night. I don't understand how, if they could play the way they played in the late third and fourth quarter, if they could play that way in the first half, they would blow this team out. It just they wait, and I can't think of another game, any sport. The only one that compared to me, guys, was the Falcons losing the Super Bowl to the Patriots, down 28-3 in the fourth quarter or late third quarter, whatever it was. That is as close as I can get to the Spurs losing that game last night. I can't.
Somebody told me that this was the biggest deficit any team has ever come back from in the NBA Finals.
That's correct. Yes.
That's saying a lot right there.
29 points, 27 at the half. Yeah, it was the biggest comeback in NBA history. I can't ever think of another sporting event where a team was up that way, whether it's 6-0 in hockey and they lost 7-6. Team was up 10-0 in baseball and came back and won. I can't think of any other sport any other game where you'd say this game's over, and it's so out of hand. And the next thing you know, here we are. And in the finals game, no less.
To be honest with you, if the Yankees won last night, I would have changed it and put the Yankee game on.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people would have.
They were getting bored. They were getting blown out.
I went to bed at halftime and said, if I fall asleep, I fall asleep. I couldn't sleep. And then they started chipping away in the third quarter. And I was like, all right, maybe I stay up for a little bit. And then it got to single digits. And I went, this is a basketball game, and I got to stick with it. So I did.
It wasn't only the noise. It was the consistency. Baseball, you hit the 3-1 home run, tied the game up.
Yeah.
That's it. Football, the same thing. Yeah. When you play, they just
wow, it was crazy.
Hard to describe.
Yeah, it was, and you know what Jeff, what really did it for me? You're watching the game last night. Now, there's a lot of diehards in the thing, but there's a lot of people who don't normally go to Knick games at the Garden last night, right? I mean, I would say the guys who go every week or every game or most games, they're not in the building. You got a lot of corporate, you get a lot of out-of-towners, right?
No, nobody's been able to afford those tickets for that game. That's
correct. But they're down 29 points, and in the mid-20s in the third quarter, nobody left. Nobody.
That shocked me.
Nobody left that.
I figured halftime they get up.
Yeah, you look up and you think like, okay, they went to the bar. They people want let me get out of town, because it's a pain in the ass to get in the area. I mean, I work right there. It's a nightmare. They've got 6 blocks cut off. You can't get near the stadium, the arena. And you looked up in the fourth quarter, and they're just starting to make their comeback, and the place is still packed. Nobody booed at all. No. Nobody left. I mean, Jeff, how many times have you watched a big game and the team's getting the home team's getting blown out, and you look up and the place is empty, and all of a sudden the other team fans are all downstairs now, and that's all you see is their colors?
Oh, listen, Tom. This is has the feeling of a very special team this year. That they've been winning, they've been coming back. I know that they had high expectations, but I feel as though they exceeded those expectations.
Oh yeah.
And if they win, they blew those expectations out of the water. No, I don't think anybody expected them to win the NBA championship. And maybe this team is overachieving. I don't know, because I'm not won't watch it all the time. But
yeah,
listen, it's good for the game. What the Rangers did for the Stanley Cup and hockey back in 1994. If the Knicks win this one, they're going to do it for basketball. And basketball's just sitting back, just waiting with a bag, waiting for the money to start rolling in. And this is going to be a huge moment in New York sports if they win.
Oh.
You thought the Rangers went 40-something years, whatever it was,
54.
without a Stanley Cup. Now you're talking, okay, so another 53 years, and it's like, wow, you got to be kidding me. Kidding me.
No, it's taken. I mean, I'm in that area every day, and the amount of people wearing Ranger gear is incredible. I mean, Knicks gear. Hats, shirts, people are, everyday people. You see these people walking down the street, they're young professionals, they got a Knick hat on, who's got a Knick backpack on. It's incredible. It's a lot of fun to see. Obviously, seeing some of the stuff that's happened after the games is a little disgusting. I mean, last night I don't know what people were thinking about. Here's the thing. I've seen how many, let's see, 6, 7 Yankee championships, four Giants Super Bowls, and a Ranger Stanley Cup. I've never once had the thought to go out and wreck or break or burn a car or hit somebody. I don't get it. Like, where is the mentality that says, hey, I should throw a bottle at a cop because the Knicks won the game tonight?
You want me to tell you?
Go ahead.
Look at the demographic. Look at the demographic. Okay, you're not talking about a regular upstanding citizens. These are just fucking idiot thugs acting out, looking for attention, and they're gonna get it too.
Oh yeah, no, listen, and with the current mayor and the way the handcuffs are on the cops, it's the recipe for disaster. I'm telling you, if this game gets back to Game 6 in the Garden on Tuesday night and they win it, they better have every cop in the city out around Madison Square Garden, because they will burn the place down. And it doesn't make any. I mean, to me, it should be the greatest night. If you're a Knicks fan, this is the 53 years. It's amazing the way this team has played. I mean, before the season, Jeff, people thought the Knicks had a chance to make it there because Boston was missing their best player. They only had to get past maybe Cleveland and Detroit. They get past, Cleveland, they get past the Sixers. The Knicks have a tough regular season. They're, up and down, lots of issues, and they go on this magic run. Yeah, they're throwing eggs at Wednesday. I hate the guy, but you know what? To me, the biggest thing you can do is just smile. Just smile. He's lost. He's about to lose, the NBA championship game, basically. And to be honest, he missed 2 free throws last night. He throws one off some guy's ass the other game. He has made multiple bad plays.
Listen, the Knicks are definitely at this point in time, the Knicks are living in their heads. And they're not going into this game focused. God only knows what they're thinking. They may say they're focused. They may say they're ready. You're down 3-1. You have one bad run, and that's it. You can end up losing. And the Knicks have already proven 3 times that they could come back. So far this year, the Knicks have beaten them, 5 times so far this year?
I think it's something like that. Yeah.
It's not looking very good for you. Even if you are focused, to win 3 in a row, that's a tall order, man.
Yeah, now listen.
I'm not saying it can't happen.
No, it can. And, listen, if the Spurs wind up winning tomorrow on Saturday night, okay, you go, okay, all right, no big deal. You go back to Madison Square Garden. If for any reason they were able to go back to the Garden and chip away and win a game, and the game had to go back to Game 7 in San Antonio,
the Knicks are done.
To me, the momentum's the other way. So if I'm the Knicks, I'm not looking to bring this home back to Madison Square Garden on Tuesday. I'm looking to go to. I want to get out to a 20-point lead.
You bring the trophy home with you.
Exactly.
If San Antonio wins the game Tuesday night, they're going to take a lot of fucking air out of the Knicks sails.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the Knicks,
very, very dangerous time.
If you're the Knicks, you can lose Saturday night in San Antonio. You don't want to, but you can. You're going home. You're up 3-2. A chance to win in your building. Not that you want to do it that way. Go out and win tomorrow night and call it Saturday night and call it a day. But if you're the Knicks, you're playing with house money. So you go, all right, we're going to go out. We're going to play our best. If we lose, fine. But, Tuesday night, Madison Square Garden, Game 6, the Knicks, you're done. You got to go out there and you have to. That is a must win for the New York Knicks. If you're the New York Knicks, you don't want to go back having lost 2 straight and go back to San Antonio for a Friday night Game 7. I don't want to think that way. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to touch the cup or any of that stuff. But if you're the Knicks, Saturday night, go out there and get in their heads. And like my dad said, they don't have that leader who's going to rally the troops. The coach is young, inexperienced. The whole team is young and inexperienced. Go out there and lay the smack down. That's the best way I could say it, Pop. But lay it down and go get them.
Well, the only thing that I'll tell you look at the paper. Look at Vegas.
Yeah.
Vegas will tell you everything. If it's a pick'em game, or Vegas has got San Antonio's got a lead points, they're telling you who they know. They call the games.
Yeah, no, I don't doubt it. To me, I haven't seen the spread yet. I'm looking up right now. I would think going into Saturday night, the Knicks got to be favored by 2.5 or 3 points.
Not San Antonio.
Okay, let's see.
I'd be shocked.
The line is not out yet. WNBA, UFL, they have not put up the line yet. As of today's paper, baseball, Stanley Cup, UFL, they have not put the line out yet, so I can't give it to you. But I will be shocked if that line comes out and the Knicks are not favored by. They have to be favored in this game. It's just. Let me see if the front's got it by any chance.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if they're not, Tom, because you got to think that, San Antonio knows what time it is. That they're going to be playing with their backs to the wall. Although I do think that, the Knicks are in their head and they're going to be gun shy, but it's going to be a dangerous team because they have nothing to lose. They either win or they're done. So Dolly knows what they're not going to pull out any, leave anything under the table for this. They're going to go all out. They have to be thinking they have somewhat of a chance. But as little as it may be, it is what it is.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I'll have to keep checking, but far as I know, as far as I'm concerned, the Knicks should be favored in this game. I know it's back in San Antonio, but San Antonio's coming off a tough loss. At the least, that should be a pick'em game. That should be a flat game, and you call it a day. But I can't see San Antonio being favored at all in this game. So, but that's just my opinion, of course.
I'll let you go, guys, go.
Yeah, Pop.
All right?
Yep.
But one thing, the officiating sucked. And if you don't know basketball, you didn't see it. They were doing everything they could.
Frankie Catalano said the Knicks are favored by 5. Knicks are underdog. It's +5.
Oh.
Knicks are dog by 5,
Wow.
which I think is a lot.
San Antonio's going to
Knicks
win.
+5.
That's what Vegas is saying.
Well, that's FanDuel, which is that's it. Knicks +5.
All right, enjoy your day. I'll see you Saturday.
I'll see you Saturday, Pop.
Take care, Jeff.
Be good, Mr. Foyle. See you soon.
That's my dad checking in. Good talking basketball with him. Okay. Just for a quick update, Dad, treatments are going well, and he
definitely seems a little bit more on the ball this week than last week.
Yeah, and the word is his levels are so far down they consider his cancer in remission.
Good.
He's still got to finish. He's still got to go through the rest of his treatments for the next few months, but they're going to start slowing them down. Instead of being every week, it'll go to every 2 weeks, then every month, and he'll finish it that way by October or so. But his levels are so far down right now that they're calling it in remission. So
good. That's what you want to hear, man. That's
thank
beautiful.
you, Frankie Catalano. Thank you, Jeff. Just wanted to pass that on. So good. But there's so much else. I mean, first off, I know you didn't watch the game, Jeff, and the Knicks are famous for a lot of things. Obviously, Madison Square Garden. They're the New York Knicks. They've had a storied history with some of the greatest players of all time, or at least some big players, a lot of Hall of Famers. But they're also famous for celebrities. They have Celebrity Row. They Spike Lee's and the Ben Stillers of the world. But last night, it looked up every second that there was a big play against or for the Knicks. You looked up and they were showing you Jerry Seinfeld's reaction and Larry David's reaction and all these different celebrities, Law and Order people. It got to be a Taylor Swift is courtside in the Knicks game. So now think about how annoying it is seeing her at a Chiefs game where her future husband at least is playing. I gotta get every 3 seconds Taylor Swift reaction. She's not even a Knicks fan. I mean, it is the most retarded thing I have ever seen in my entire life. And I'm just fed up with show me the celebrities beforehand. I get the idea. You're drawing people in, Jeff. But after the first thing, let me see the 8-year-old kid who's crying because the Knicks are getting killed, or the 12-year-old little girl who's pumped up because the Knicks just took the lead. That's what I want to see. I don't need to keep seeing, Jerry Seinfeld after every play.
Oh, listen, I hear you, but people want to know who's in the stands, who's at the game, what they're doing. These celebrities are just as important to some people as the actual players and everything else. And it does suck, but listen, what are you going to do? This is what's important nowadays. It's not always about a basketball game, dude.
No,
and that's
you're
the shame of it.
And did you? I'm sure you didn't pay attention to it, but her and Travis Kelce are getting married at Madison Square Garden. They rented it out. Guess the cost?
$3 million.
There you go.
I sadly it was all over the place. I had no choice but to fucking check it out.
So by the way, the nipple Nazi one is primary, just if anybody wants to know about it. But yeah, so I'm a little fed up with all the celebrities, especially her. I'm a little fed up with she said she has been a Knicks fan since Stoudemire. Is that true, Frankie? She actually said she's been a Knicks fan. I find it hard to believe, actually, but okay. I'll if she is, then
I don't fucking believe it. I don't fucking believe that.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that, but okay, if that's actually true, I'm looking for a story that I wanted to bring up tonight. Sorry, guys. The nipple Nazi. The nipple Nazi. It's not him I want to bring up, but I'm trying to find it. I can't. 22 newspapers. I can't find the story I wanted to find. Anyway, and then of course the watch party. She met him at a Met Ball years ago. Okay. Give me a minute, guys. I'm looking for a story that is just missing. Nipple Nazi. I like saying nipple Nazi, Jeff. Oh, by the way, just for the I was telling you before how I moved my albums next to the show, and okay. I'm going through them, and my wife's going through the albums. She's checking them out. She puts a few of hers in there, and she finds this gem.
Oh.
So she goes, I gotta ask, why? And is it any good? I said, because it means something to me and Jeff, and no, it sucks completely. So
just for the record, that album never spent one night in my house. So I said, I think Jeff heard it. I said, I think Jeff heard it at my house and said, you keep it. What? While I have my phone nearby, BITCH?
That is correct. Be My Slave is the name of the album.
I want to see if that's even on.
Can't be.
If it's in, let me see. I don't know. It might be.
Can't be. Frankie, the name of that band is Bitch. That's the name of the band. Bitch. BITCH. Be My Slave is the album.
Artists. There is an artist. Oh my God.
Come on. It's in there?
Be My Slave, 1983.
Get the heck out of here.
The Bitch Is Back, 1987.
They did a second album?
Evidently.
Holy cow.
Evidently. Their first album had contained 15 songs for a grand total of 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Wow.
They did a second album with 9 songs that were 37 minutes long. I guess they didn't feel the need to pound the senses. Well, let's real quick, some songs from the first one. Right from the start. Be My Slave, Leatherbound, Riding in Thunder, Save You from the World, Heavy Metal Breakdown, Give Me a Kiss, In Heat. There's a good love song, right?
Yeah.
World War III, Saturdays, Damnation Alley, Live for the Whip. Oh, I definitely have to check this shit out. I'm going to download that right now.
I would say, I think the guy who produced them was a guy by the name of Brian Slagle. I think Brian Slagle, wasn't he the guy behind one of those big record labels?
Yes.
Okay.
Might have been Metal Blade. I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure you're right. I'm pretty sure that is what it is. I also,
Anthony just said that album on eBay is going for $50.
I'd
Frank-
sell it right now. If somebody offered me $50 for that album, I paid exactly. One of us paid. I'm not sure you didn't buy this and I got it. I'm not sure.
Frank Catalano has no idea who it is.
$6.99.
$6.90. Well, that's what records were back then. That's what records were back then. What does that sticker say? Do you know the store?
Yes, it's our music center. It's
Our
exactly
music center. Wow.
our music center.
So there's a chance that album came back home on the 103. Actually, it did. If it was released in 1983, it had to come back home on the 103.
I remember going out. I remember picking that album out of the rack at Our Music Center with you, and we might have been with Joey, or might have been your brother, somebody else, and taking it back to the house and listening to it, and you going, "You keep it," because I said, "If it sucks, you can have it," and because we were goofing on the cover, and we were hoping it was going to be a good album, and obviously, it was not a good album.
Well, obviously not. But I'm curious to see how many tugs has that album seen.
Anthony, I will tell you that if somebody bought it, it's almost brand new. I would tell you it probably had one playing of one song and it was over. So if it's pretty much like new, it's been in the plastic. I'm telling you, for close to 40 years.
Actually 43. If it came out in 83. Right. I can attest that if it's in the plastic, that is the plastic it came in, man.
I'm telling you, it has to, because the Our Music sticker is still on the plastic.
Jesus Christ. My God. Do you have a name for her? Is there a name on the back of the album for her?
Let's see. Hold on. It does not. I can check. Hold on. Let me see. It's on the. It does have a. Holy cow! Look at this. Let's see. So here's the words to the albums, Jeff, to the songs. I guess that's Betsy, because it says lyrics by Betsy.
Betsy, that's right. Yeah. I got to look this up right now and see if we can get an age on her and see where she is.
See. Extra special thanks to Bitch fans worldwide. They did have a Bitch World Enslavement Society, was I guess the fan club.
Well, okay. I definitely have that up. They have a Wikipedia page.
Come on.
Yeah. They have a Wikipedia page, also known as Betsy. Okay. Betsy Weiss.
Ah.
Wow. Wow. They had 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. At least 22 people in the band, at least.
Oh, boy. So they were the lesser known Deep Purple.
I think a way lesser known Deep Purple. And they have they have a Facebook page.
Come on. They're still together?
I don't know if they're still together, but some friends of ours are fans of the band.
Come on.
Yeah. I could give you some names if you'd like.
Sure, I'd love to know.
Well, one of them is Mr. Tom
Lorenzo?
Tom Lorenzo, correct. My God, what the fuck is going on here? Another one is another friend of ours that just recently moved down south.
Really?
Oh, yeah. My God, dude, my God. Oh, my God. This woman's got to be 70. She's got to be. She has to be. My God, oh, my fucking God. Oh, my God.
They're not still performing. Please tell me they're not still performing.
I don't think so, but the pictures of her from 2015 are definitely not helping out. And it looks like they are still performing. There were pictures of them at a show as far back as March 3rd.
Wow.
Yeah, there she is at the Whiskey A Go-Go playing March 3rd. She looks like she made it way past the date for full benefits from Social Security.
Wow, that is I would have thought that they didn't get past 1983, to be honest with you.
Oh, they fucking took a rocket past 1983, my friend.
Wow, holy
Yeah.
cow, 1983.
She should be happy for airbrushing.
Oh man, this the other one I found was my Samson album,
Oh my God.
and the best song on the album, and it's legitimately a good song, is called "I Wish I Was the Saddle of a Schoolgirl's Bike."
God, man. Jesus Christ.
And the lead singer is a guy by the name of Bruce.
Bruce. Yeah, we know who that is.
Yes. So anyway, I figured I'd move the albums here. So if we ever get to a situation where we want to check the songs on an album or get some information on a band, I have the ability to pull that up now.
I actually think we're in a situation where you want to put that one at the back of the pile, hold it up the front of the pile, like, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, just like to borrow a line from Spinal Tap, you know, I've been thinking about the universe, and I don't know what's behind that, but whatever's behind that, what's behind that, and I think that we should use that as a guide to what you're going to do with that fucking album.
I don't know what to do with this one, boy. I mean, at least the Samson one, I can say Bruce Dickinson's on it. Like, I will tell you that this album has not been played since the day you and I played it.
Gee, what a fucking surprise.
Why I kept it, I gotta be honest with you. She's not even a looker here. I can imagine what 70 looks like.
I'm only guessing that she's probably about 70 because I don't know. Let's see if we could look her up.
Well, let's think about it. So she's got to be at least in her mid-20s there, no? 25?
Betsy Weiss singer. Uh-oh. We're fucking doing it. Oh no, I don't know. Betsy Weiss age. Oh boy. This is important. Oh boy, she is 68 years old.
I had it hit on the head. Okay. So
She was born August 1st, 1957.
Oof. I have not, and I will never listen to that album again, ever. And Anthony, if that album gets up anywhere near 75, let me know. I will split it with you if we can get it sold. I'd sell that tomorrow for $75. Holy cow. The fact that anybody thinks that album's worth anything is amazing. But there are bitch fans out there, Jeff. So obviously,
never mind bitch fans out there. There are people out there. I'm actually friends with this guy on Facebook. I don't know how it happened and stuff like that.
Mhm.
We had a few common friends, and I thought that he might have come see my band play, and
Yeah.
he might have. And he trades tapes from hair metal tapes from the 80s,
Mhm.
and he evidently is a wackaloon
Mhm.
because he has posted pictures of himself dressed up in his metal gear.
Oh boy.
Yeah, with in and out of costume, and you would not know that it was him.
Wow.
And either way, yeah, you know, wigs, everything. So there are people that live, I'm not going to say an alternative lifestyle, but definitely live a way that we do not. We may listen to this stuff, but these people are living this stuff.
Wow. Crazy.
You know?
I gotta tell you, I went to a Milltown, New Jersey, which is not too far from East Brunswick. Sunday we went to it was Record Store Day. You know, we decided we were going to make it a go out and chase down some albums. And like I said, I bought 4 or 5 new albums. I bought a Journey album. I bought a bunch of things. Rush album.
What was the average price of the albums?
It varied. Like I said, I bought a Cheap Trick album that was $5. I think the most I spent was 20 on I bought Rush's Fly By Night. I think an original, but $20. So I bought the Rush album. That was probably the most. But I mean, I could have bought, a bunch of they had every Sabbath album, a bunch of Ozzy stuff. This place was really cool. They had a bunch of they had the used section where you can go through it and you pick up a couple albums that were used, and that's basically what I was concentrating on. But they had the newer issue stuff of the newer old issue stuff, and that could vary up to anywhere to double albums were like $70.
That's insane.
Depends on the band.
Absolutely
Depends
fucking
on,
insane.
yeah, it depends on the band. It depends on, like I said, I found a vintage Triumph, which I already had. That was for $15. I was trying to find some different things that I was looking for, like there's an EP Quiet Riot with Randy Rhoads, which I'd love to get my hands on.
Yeah.
Very hard to get.
You got a better chance of seeing God.
Yeah, there was a bunch of other stuff I was going to buy. There was a Badland album in there I was going to grab, but I kind of said I had like $100, budget, and I bought 4 or 5 albums. I think it was 5, and I stayed under a little over my budget, $103. But it was a fun day. I got to go through a whole bunch of stuff. And but you had all different sections. Then, like what you were just talking about, cassettes, they have a whole section. You could have bought all these different cassettes. They were anywhere from like $3 to $4. I was like, what am I gonna do with a cassette? Like,
it's dangerous. I don't even think you could get a radio nowadays to play a cassette.
Yeah, I mean, my stereo, my record player has a CD on it, so I can play CDs. So I can I still have a bunch. But I wouldn't buy it, like, unless there was like a ultra rare one or something. But again, getting the albums with that, I bought I realized that I had every Kiss album up to like Psycho Circus. I think I have a couple more of them on CD, but vinyl, the only Kiss album I didn't have was the very first Kiss album. So I bought that, it was a reissue. So it's not the same. I wanted the original, but the originals online are just too much money.
Yeah, they're fucking insane with the prices that they're asking for.
But I just wanted
records $30 a piece. I'm like, you got to be out of your fucking mind.
30 is cheap. I'm telling you, you can buy a regular album. They're higher grain, they're better quality. I'm like, I don't want better quality. I want what I had. But you could spend $48 on a regular album. I mean,
I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. But again, I like to go through the discount bin, and I found the Monkees album for like $2. You can find stuff like that just to throw in your collection. I bought a Johnny Cash album, just some different things, and fill in some stuff I was missing. So it's pretty cool. So, but I said I got to keep this around, and if we're joshing about certain things, and I can whip out an album and say, here you go, and this is what we got. And I think I have a little tabletop player that I can hook up through my mixing board and play records on it. I don't use it because of copyright infringements and all that stuff, but I do have the ability to close out a show that way. So, but anyway, Hard Rockin' Sports, that's Jeff, and I'm Tom. We've been talking a lot of Knicks. I want to move on to some other topics. I do also want to bring up, we talked about this last week, and just a little, they're terminating, or is it New York terminating the words mother and father. And if you look, they want to use, is that a mother, gestating parent, father is non-gestating parent or parent. Then you got paternity is parentage, and putative father is alleged parents. Stricken from the record, Jeff, is his or her, he or she and her husband, male party. Are all now.
Where is this taking place?
This is in New York. If they want to put this like into courts and legal documents. So if you have a legal document, you cannot use the term mother or father. You have to use gestating or non-gestating parent, because they feel it's unfair to the LBGTQ ABCD EFP community that they have to listen to mother and father. And your friend, your governor, Miss Hochul, I don't know if she signed it into law yet, but it's out there.
It's insanity. Total insanity. Total fucking insanity.
Yeah, Frankie, you're 100% right. It's complete insanity. I'll give you one. So now, did you hear there's a whole big thing going on between your boy Mamdani and James Dolan, the owner of the Knicks? The Knicks are blaming. They had this watch party usually right outside the garden. The garden puts up these outdoor screens, and they've been having tens of thousands of people, I guess, hanging out. It's for the most part, it's been okay. I think they had a couple issues, but when the president was coming to the game, the NYPD used it as an excuse. It wasn't even the Secret Service; it was NYPD. They shut down for 6 blocks around the Garden, and everybody had to go either Central Park or Bryant Park or the Brooklyn Bowl or some other places to watch these watch parties. And there's been some, the Mamdani and his office blamed the Knicks and said the Knicks canceled it. And Dolan went on the radio and said, it wasn't us. This is all NYPD and the mayor's office. We did not cancel them. We have nothing to do with it. Now the question, because they're fighting and going back and forth, they're asking, well, if there's a Knick championship, will there be a parade down the Canyon of Heroes? So my question is, I think it's too big an event for egos of the politicians and others to get involved and shut that down. But I got to be honest with you, I hope they don't do it. I think it would be an absolute. It'd be great for a while. But I think by the time it's over, they will be burning and looting the city. I honestly hope they don't do it.
Well, listen, like I said, there's a certain demographic that likes this stuff.
You keep going back to that, Jeffrey.
Well, I'm just being honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you, Tom. It always, to me, seems to be that basketball was geared towards a certain way, a certain type of people, individual. Don't make me say it. Don't make me say it.
Let's move on. So, and yes, and thank you, Andy. Happy early non-gestating Parents' Day to you as well. So, it's very nice. I gotta tell you, the world. I hope we're heading away from it, but right now there's too much money for these woke, crazy people to let this stuff go. You hear all the stuff about the crimes and this poor kid in Texas got killed. It's insanity that there's people out there who get away with saying the things that they say. So if Hochul signs this into law, I couldn't even imagine anybody ever voting for her, but they've done it past already. So what's the difference, right? Anyway, I do want to get to my top 5 New York sports moments.
Oh, I've been waiting for this.
Let's do that. Then
I've been waiting for this. I can't wait to give you my top 5.
I want to talk about the Rush set list.
Well, let's get to it, man.
Okay, so I want to bring it up. Let me bring up mine, and then let's see if you have maybe, for any reason, maybe we share a couple of the same ones.
Well, what are you doing now? You're doing the sports moments?
Yep, my top 5 New York sports moments. It's up on the screen for you to see. So my number 5 New York sports moment is Bucky Dent's home run against the Red Sox in the 1-game playoff. It is timeless. It'll live forever in Yankee lore. Baseball fans of our generation and older will never forget where they were, especially if you're a Yankee fan, when Bucky Dent hit the home run. It was pre-social media, and everybody still knows there a big thing in Jackson that a cop pulled over a black guy because he had a hoodie on in 80-degree weather all over the news. Frankie, you're never going to get past it, man. Cops should be allowed to use their judgment, and if they do something stupid, then they should pay the price for it. But use your judgment.
Listen, I didn't hear that one, but I got to be honest with you. I seen a couple fucking idiots out there, out and about, wearing fucking hoodies in this weather. If you want to wear a hoodie in this weather, chances are you're not going to be doing much for long.
Yeah.
With 90 fucking degrees, you're going down sooner or later.
Yeah. So, and there's a reason why you're wearing a hoodie. Anthony, I'm sorry. I'll get to it. Let me get to it, Anthony. You're right. It's no doubt. But okay, so Bucky Dent to me is a no-brainer. Next up is Matteau. I mean, is in Ranger history, even though that didn't win the Cup, that won a brutal series. While the Messier guarantee in that series will always be the big will always be the big topic of conversation. It will dominate 94. Matteau. That Messier's guarantee goes in the garbage if that goal doesn't go in. So I got Matteau as the next. The next is I had to pick one G to play, and there's so many to choose from. I think the flip play. It's one of those plays where you'll probably never see it ever again. It'll never happen. And when you saw it, you went, "What's he doing? Why is he there?" And I picked the fit play. Well, again, I want to give you my list, Frank. It doesn't mean I want to make your list. And to me, it's not mine. So I put OG's tip in last night because the series changed on that play. If that doesn't go in and Knicks lose that game, we're having a different conversation today. No matter how much the Knicks came back, now how close they made it, it would be 2-2 with all the momentum in the world heading back to San Antonio. So that is even though that didn't win a championship, that didn't clinch anything. I have to take OG and make that number 2 in my biggest sports moments. And there's a lot. I could have went 10 deep and not flinched. And to me, it's the helmet catch. To me, that is the craziest. That play, if you're a Giant fan, you'll remember. Football fans will talk about it. It'll come up on every big Super Bowl list. And yeah, without that play, the Giants probably aren't in a position to win the game. I mean, 3 plays later, Plaxico Burress scores on the Z out to the end, to the corner. And that, to me, that is a big, huge play. I mean, how does Eli not get sacked? How did the referee not blow the whistle? How did he hold on to it? How did it not touch the floor? Too many things. To me, that's my top 5 New York sports moments. Again, I could add to that list in a heartbeat, but I settled on that, Jeff. So I don't know if you have any of the same, but let's hear you.
Actually, kind of, but not really.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, I'm going to start at number 5 and work my way up to the top. Number 5, I got Willie Mays to catch.
Ah, okay.
Okay. Incredible catch and everything else. I don't think that it should be recognized.
Okay.
Number 4, Scott Norwood missed, because no matter what happened in that game, if Scott Norwood didn't miss that field goal, the Giants don't win the Super Bowl.
Very true.
Okay. Number 3, Reggie Jackson, 3 home runs in one night.
Good one.
Okay. That's one that definitely would the Yankees go like 16, 17 years from winning a championship by the time that he hit the 3 home runs at night that one game.
15 years. 62 on. Yep.
Okay. So number 2 on the list. Well, number 4, actually, however you're looking at it.
Yeah.
Craig Nettles and the play that he had in that World Series game. I believe it was 78.
Yes.
He made several great plays. I actually had another moment there, and I removed it.
Why? Because the Giants winning?
No, because I just had to remove it. I didn't deem that moment as good as that moment.
Okay. All right.
So I removed the other moment. And then we go up to number 1, which I have 1A and 1B.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, which I believe both of them had to be recognized because of what they stood for. And that was the guarantees, both Namath and Mark Messier, but delivering and helping their team win. The Jets, of course, they're being their only Super Bowl win, and Mark Messier putting the team on his back and scoring a hat trick in that game and extending the series, helping the Rangers come back and win the championship, not the championship, the Eastern Conference Finals or whatever they were called at the time, and going to the Stanley Cup. A pretty big moment, ending a 54-year drought.
Sure.
I don't think you could have went wrong with anyone, and I'm sure that if we were sitting here talking about it, we could come up with a whole bunch of others. And listen, there's so many moments in New York history because of the play of all of the teams in New York. I mean, the Mets. Neither one of us mentioned the Mookie Wilson, the ground ball by Mookie Wilson, which set
Frankie
the wheels in motion.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Well, Frankie
brought up that was a good one. I mean, I could do Bavaro on Monday night against the 49ers. That kind of turned the Giants season on its heels.
Jets coming back against Miami on Monday Night Football.
Yeah. There was
I liked the ones that led to championships or
I agree. I
in World Series, but there's a lot of great history in New York, and none of it could be discounted. And because it's New York, there should be a lot more sports history in New York. There really should. And sometimes I feel as though that overall across the board with football, hockey, basketball, and baseball, that we should have more records and more great moments. And I mean, listen, here's hoping that we get one this week from the Knicks.
Yeah.
You know, add to it, man.
Yeah, I would tell you I think this will be, like I think every iconic big epic series or championship has its moment. When the Knicks beat the Lakers, is Willis Reed coming out hitting 2 jump shots on a busted leg and then not being able to play anymore. You have the Reggie. I think you're right on. Reggie's 3 home runs is an epic moment that will make that probably average World Series live forever. There are the helmet beating the Patriots. Okay, they were 18-0, going for a perfect season. The helmet catch will live forever. There are moments that stand out, but you're right. The Buckner play. There are so many huge moments in sports that in New York sports that it's hard to narrow it down. And we could have did 10.
You could have done 10 apiece, but you want to know something? It's New York sports. Most of these teams were original teams in the league that they all played in, that they come out of. That you think that they would have had more great moments in their history.
Sure.
Teams like the Jets, the Mets, the Islanders, the Nets, they didn't have such great records and seasons, not many championships between them. And so they maybe don't have the same amount as, say, the Yankees and even the Rangers, a team that's around for close to 100 years, man. You would like to think that they would have more great moments and championship moments.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yeah, and Frankie, you know what? I didn't go to moments that were negative. I wanted to go because I could have went to you're right, AJ Dewey. That was a ugly one. To what's his name? Deshaun Jackson's punt return against the Giants, but Flipper Anderson, running off the field. I mean, there was so many. There's so many of those.
That's not a great moment for New York.
I agree. I'm just saying. I'm saying is there are a lot of big moments in New York sports. Not all of them are flattering and good ones.
No,
so I wanted to go to ones that kind of led to New York either championships or big moments for wins. There was a lot of other obviously big moments in New York sports. Some good, some bad.
I remember one particular moment, big moment in New York sports, and it wasn't a good moment, but it's because I don't like the team that at the time I was like, this is huge, this is great, and that's when Rich Gossage almost decapitated Ron Say when he was at the plate. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
And he hit him right in the fucking head, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I bet you his head is still ringing.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many of those moments in time that you go back to them. I mean, again, I could give you 4th and 22, Sims to Bobby Johnson against the Vikings. To keep, to move that team along. The Giants beating the Vikings 41-0 in the NFC championship game to go to the Super Bowl in 2000 or 2001. I think that was 2001. But yeah, there's more. There's a lot of championships and big games, but there aren't a lot of epic moments that you could point to. There aren't a lot of those in New York sports. I mean, you think about it, 94 for the Rangers, there's the Messier thing and then that toe goal. And while it was a great series against the Canucks, there wasn't that big moment. I mean, I'd say the biggest moment in that series is probably Rick DeStop and Pavel Bure on the shootout breakaway.
Listen, I'll tell you something about that series, okay? That went 7 games.
Yes.
If the Rangers had played an extra game or two earlier on in the playoffs, they don't win that series. That team was running out of gas by the time that.
It was an older team at that point.
It was an older team, but there was also the game 7 that they won it in. If they were played another game or two earlier in the playoffs, they wouldn't have won that fucking game. There's no way they win that series.
Again, I'm with you. Again, it was an older team, and I thought that I thought that a lot of that series, the Canucks were the better team. I thought Richter stood on his head. Leach was the best player on the ice. and he got a little help here and there from Messier and some of the other guys. But to me, the biggest play in that series was Burry's a breakaway. That was a penalty shot, and to me, that's another. Again, that could have made my list as a top moment. That to me is probably one of the biggest moments in Ranger history as far as big epic moments in a big spot.
Listen, with all the fucking cups they got, you realize that there might not even be anybody alive from the last time they won the cup. And I'm not talking the 1940. I'm talking the one before that.
Oh yeah. Well, listen. Again, there are a lot of big moments in New York sports. Some for, some against, and again, you'll always remember where you were when Reggie hit 3 homers. You'll remember. Again, I could also point to the Yankees blowing a 3-0 lead in 2004 against the Red Sox, and the Red Sox going on to win their first World Series in 100 years.
Didn't they lose a 3-1 or 3-0 game lead to the Mariners?
I think that was 2. It might have been 2-0. That might have been 2-0 getting. Yeah, I think that was.
It was like 95 or
95
96
was Mattingly's last day. I think they won the first 2 games in Yankee Stadium, and then they went on to lose 3 straight in Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, there's a lot. I'll give you another one. They lost the series, but Mattingly's home run in Game 2 of the 95 American League Championship Series against it wasn't New York. It was the division series against the Mariners. Mattingly at home run. You would have thought the roof of the place was going to come off. They didn't even have a roof. So there are some big moments. The Knicks, Larry Johnson 4-point play. Trent Tucker's 4-point play. I mean, there's a lot of Patrick Ewing missing the finger roll. Charles Smith getting denied 3 times trying to make a layup. Yeah. So to me, we could have did a bigger list of disappointing moments in New York sports history.
There's plenty of them.
Yeah. So again, there's a lot of championships in New York. There's a lot of big games, but there, to me, I mean, even you want to go back to the one you talked about was the guarantee of the Namath game. The game itself was not a big game. It was to where it was. There wasn't a big moment in the game. The Jets just beat them, but the big moment of that game happened a week before with Joe Namath at the pool making the guarantee.
Yeah, but listen, the big moment, it doesn't matter if there's a big moment. It's the end result that's more important than any big moment in the game.
100%.
And they just happen to be on the right side of the W that day. That's all.
Yeah.
And a lot of those teams that throughout the league and in all the major sports, New York should have more championship teams. They really should.
Yeah, listen, I agree with you. I am 58 years old. I've seen 2, 6, 7 Yankee championships in my 58 years. I've seen 1 Ranger win, 4 Giant Super Bowls, and hopefully now 1 championship for the Knicks. Again, is that a lot? But then you think you got all of those, then add in 4 titles in my lifetime for the Islanders. 2, I think it's 3 for the Devils. And do we want to go back to the ABA and the Nets won the last 2 ABA titles? So there have been a lot of championships in New York. But
the Rangers are also a team that's close to 100 years old. They got like 3 wins. The Jets have 1. The Knicks only have 2.
Yep.
The Mets only have 2. They're a team going on 70 years old. They only have 2 world championships.
Yeah.
They've only been to I think 4 or 5 World Series.
Well, let's say 69, 73, 86, 2000 and 2015. So 5 of them.
Yeah. So, it just would be nice to see some of the New York teams perform better. And I also feel as though that a lot of the New York teams, I would love to see some personal records held by New York players. Like to me, a home run is synonymous with the New York Yankees only because of Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig and a lot of the guys that played on the Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on the Yankees, and it would have been nice. All right, Roger Maris holds the record, and Aaron Judge, I believe, holds the American League record, which to me, Aaron Judge holds the major league record.
I think most people feel the same way. I think if in 5-10 years from now, Judge will be considered, even though Barry Bonds or whoever it is has 77 or 73. I think it'll be recognized as the non paper. And Judge will be considered that. I think it's.
Listen, that's water cooler fodder, man, because nobody in their right mind is ever going to turn around and say that record is not his. That'll start a war, and you know that. Within a certain demographic.
I agree with you. The Jets, I think, almost have the record with I'm making the playoffs. Frank, I think you're right. It's pretty close. I think it was Buffalo up till this year. Now Buffalo obviously made the playoffs this year, so that's out. And that hockey series, if you guys haven't watched, is a really great series. I mean, it's back and forth. It's not, unfortunately, in this area, the Knicks have dominated, so nobody's paying attention to hockey.
Well, nobody pays attention to hockey as it is, because it just nobody gives a fuck. Yeah. But the Las Vegas Golden Knights should be commended. I mean, they won the Stanley Cup in their first year in existence, and have been to the playoffs like every year since they've been there. And this is like their third trip to the Stanley Cup. Yeah, they're just what a good team, man.
Yeah, good organization. They've done a nice job. And, who would have thought that Las Vegas would have a great hockey team? It's crazy to see. But
dude, their first year in the league, they won the fucking Stanley Cup.
I know. It's crazy.
So I find that unbelievable. And, they were in the same conference as the Colorado Avalanche, who had the best. They won the President's Trophy and were one of the best teams in the league this year. Mm-hmm. And, they're home now.
Yeah.
And what is the hockey playoff starts in what, like April or May at some time in
April.
Yeah, and they're still fucking going at it, man. But they'll be done by the end of next week at this time.
Yes, but both of them start in April, and they both finish. I thought maybe I think it's early April for hockey. I think it's end of April for basketball, and both of them will be finishing up at this point. So, still some stuff to get to. I want to get to the Rush set list. So stick around for that. We talked a lot of Knicks, and again, big game Saturday night for the New York Knickerbockers. Hopefully, they will put this away. I am a little surprised they are so much the underdog in this one. It is sad being a Ranger fan, Frankie. I've been one since 1976. I ain't going to change now, but you got to hope at some point what happened to the Knicks happens to the Rangers. And we get some big years, but they haven't found their identity, and I'm not sure Drury's going to find it. World Cup started today. Mexico out on their first win. I love the World Cup. I love all of these big tournaments. So right on, there's group play. Every team, there's I think 12 groups, 4 teams in each one. There's 3 games in the first group. Takes over a week to change to play all the games. And then they get into a bracket style like the NCAA tournament. You get a bracket, and then you go from whatever there's 32 teams to 16 teams to 8 teams, and then you're down to your final 4 basically. So World Cup kicks off. There's 104 games over 30-something days, so a lot. And our area is going to be besieged with people here to see it. So be careful. You're driving around. The city's got all sorts of moratoriums on you can't park, you can't drive. But a lot of fun watching World Cup, do or die soccer. If you're not a fan, I get it, but it's a fun time. So if you're in New York, you got World Cup, you got Knicks basketball championship on the horizon. The Yankees are playing okay. The Mets are playing much better baseball. Probably too late to catch a division, but I think there's a chance they can sneak in to
they're still like 9 games under 500, right?
It was a little less than that. I think a couple days ago. I think it was 7. They're 15 games out of first place. 8
games.
Okay,
8 games under.
But only 5.5 games out of the wild card. So again,
they're 4.5 games, 3.5 games out of the next spot behind Miami.
Yeah.
So what is that? 1 through 4th place.
Yeah. I mean, I think they got to, again, they're very inconsistent. A lot of young kids. They got to stay healthy. They got to get better pitching. Soto's kind of had a nice streak here, a big home run to I think to put him ahead in I think today's game. But again, very inconsistent, very inconsistent. But we'll see. I wouldn't rule them out if they catch a hot streak in June. They can squeeze in, and then anything happens in the playoffs. I think it comes down to, Jeff, if you're the Mets, is this the year to kind of not make the playoffs, like squeak in and then get beat, or maybe this is the year to kind of sell it all off, get rid of all the badness, all the stuff that's not working at the trade deadline, and maybe build around some of these young kids like McLean and Ewing. And it's a very weird spot if you're if you're Steve Cohen and Stearns. You kind of have to make a decision at some point to say, maybe we get rid of Peralta, maybe we sell off Bichette, maybe we get some of these pieces, get some picks, get some young players back, and kind of reboot it. Or do you say, hey, we're close, Lindor's coming back, let's go for it? Believe it or not, they have the top 5 regulars. Yeah, Frankie, I don't disagree. I wouldn't. I've seen them play some decent baseball. The problem is, you just said it, it's inconsistent, and I'm afraid that they're going to get themselves to a point where they don't make any moves. They try to go for it, and it fails, and you kind of doomed yourself a little bit. So they have to decide pretty soon. They're about a month away from having to make a decision on, do we go for it or do we sell it off and reboot for next year? I be honest with you, I think they're so inconsistent and there's so many better teams. I would sell and reboot this team for next year. Bring up your young kids, play these kids, and let them play, and let the chips fall where they may. I would trade Peralta. I would trade a few of those guys and play the young kids. Get them some experience and build this thing for the future. What you got right now, I don't think works enough to keep it. We'll see. They could go on a run like they did the last couple of years. Again, I wouldn't argue it either way. If you sold off Bichette, great. If you didn't, you kept them, that's fine too. I just think he's going to opt out at the end of the year, and you're going to pay. If you can sell him off to somebody at a contender and get some sort of valuable piece back, I would really consider it. I don't think he's been that good, but again, it wouldn't be stupid to keep him either. So, manager's got to go. I'm sorry, the manager's got to go at the end of the season. So, and I got to be honest with you, if selling off, if there was the right offer for Lindor, and again, I know you're going to think I'm crazy, Frankie. Seems like him and Soto don't mesh. He's a very inconsistent. He's getting older. He's getting more hurt every year. I think he may be at that part of the hill where it starts to do this. If you got the right package, I would really consider trading Lindor. I know you're going to think I'm crazy, and you probably wouldn't do it, and you're probably right. This is definitely Soto's team now. There's no doubt. That's my point. I don't think it's crazy to say if there's a contender, if there's a contender out there that needs a shortstop, he can help you. He can definitely get on a hot streak and help you. I just think he may be on that downward arc soon. I think he's in his early 30s. So, but again, if you can get yourself a couple of big prospects or a major league talent, younger, I would do it. I would absolutely think about, package him in 40, you hear all these things at Schoolball and this one, the kid from Miami, Alcantara, whatever his name is, they're out there. If you can take a Lindor and a piece, maybe a Tong, and trade him and bring back a guy like that, you got to think about it. So anyway, and because those teams aren't going to pay that guy, the Cohen will pay, and you bring back a guy you can build around. Anyway, Jeff, let's get to the Rush set list.
All righty.
All right, let's see. Where is it? Share screen. Let's see, Jeff. It's a very weird set list. Okay, let me break it down for you. Can you read it?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so they open up first time ever as a concert opening with Xanadu.
Really? That was the first time ever?
That's what it says. First time ever as a concert opener. Followed by Limelight, Far Cry, Subdivisions, Free Will, Bravado, which is dedicated to Neil Peart, with archival video montage, Caravan, La Villa Straggiato, Vital Signs, and The Spirit of the Radio. Now, this thing is so long, they have the set list. This is 24 songs in this set list, Jeff.
Yeah,
So
it's a lot, man.
You're
That's
getting
a
your
lot.
money, you're getting your money's worth out of this.
Plus 2112 Part 1 that they're playing that whole album.
Oh, yeah, which to me is a great album. But I am going to see Rush for sure. If I can talk Jeff into going with me, I'm going to see Rush, and I might have an inside connection for tickets. So I'm working. In fact, I'm going to be with my connection tomorrow night. I'm going tomorrow night, Jeff. I am going to see Jennifer Hudson and Josh Groban in concert at Madison Square Garden.
What? Why the fuck you doing that?
I don't ask me. I don't know why. But I'm going to see Josh Groban and Jennifer Hudson in concert at Madison Square Garden tomorrow night.
Wow.
A friend of ours has access to the luxury suites at Madison Square Garden. And I was invited with my wife to go to a concert that for some reason I thought she would never want to go see, but we're going to Madison Square Garden tomorrow night to see Josh Groban and Jennifer Hudson in concert.
Who the fuck is Josh Groban?
I know the name. I couldn't even begin to tell you what he sings. Yeah, exactly. So, but Frankie, I think they're playing like 3 or 4 nights in the Garden. I am absolutely, if I got to pay for my own ticket, I will go see Rush at the Garden. It's right down the block from where I work. And who knows if they'll ever do this again. So I will definitely be going. But Jeff, while as much as I love Temples of Syrinx and some of 2112, I don't know how I'm going to feel about sitting through what's got to be 20-something minutes of that portion of songs,
39 minutes for that album. But you know what? It's going to go faster than you think. It's a fast 39 minutes. And it's it's good.
It's epic. It's epic, no doubt about it. It's some of the greatest music ever done. I mean, honestly, you listen to that album. Is that the best? What's the right word what they call that? Not compilation album. What's the
concept album?
Concept. Is that the best concept album of all time?
I don't know. I mean, you got The Wall, which a lot of people would love. You got Operation Mindcrime and a few others. I mean, what exactly is a concept album? Like they tell a story from beginning to end,
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, Kiss tried it with The Elder, which sucked out loud. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've always been partial to Operation Mindcrime. Problem is, Jeff Tate's been singing it every day, every week, every year for the last 10 years. It's like he's completely.
That's all he has. That's all he's got.
Fans chant Rush during Run at 2112. Okay. But yeah, so so the second half of this is pretty good. I mean, you get through 2112, Distant Early Warning, Red Barchetta, Dreamline, Natural Science, Time Standstill. I love Red Sector A. I think that's such a great song. It's not the greatest song they've ever done, don't get me wrong, but a great tune. YYZ, The Garden, Tom Sawyer. And then the encore is By-Tor and the Snow Dog, first time performed in 20 years, live in 20 years, and Working Man. I got a problem with the encore.
So
to me, the encore should be Tom Sawyer, at least in the encore. No? It almost should be the end.
Listen, there's so many other songs that I would rather see them end with because it's Rush and because this may be it. I mean, let's face it. These guys are in their early 70s. They're probably just going out and having fun at this point in time.
Absolutely, 100%.
But you're going to want to see something special. I don't know if By-Tor, the Snow Dog, and Working Man is that special song to end it. For me, definitely not.
What would be the two? If you were going to write this up for them, to me, Tom Sawyer ends it. I'm ending it with Tom Sawyer. What the 23rd song is, I'm not sure. But while these are good tunes, don't get me wrong, very good tunes. Not the way I want to see a Rush concert end.
I personally, if it was my call, maybe end it with Limelight or Tom Sawyer, so Spirit of Radio.
I would agree.
Something like that. I mean, listen, there's so many fucking I mean, we could talk all day long about this.
Yeah.
There is so many great albums, songs, and everything. Are they doing Red Barchetta?
Yes. Red. Did I saw? I thought I saw it. Hold on. Oh yeah, it's right here. Number
Okay.
15.
All right.
That's a great tune. That whole album is just amazing. I mean,
Yeah. There's one album, Witch Hunt. I love Witch Hunt.
good song. Okay.
Yeah, I like it. I dig that one, man.
Okay, so notable highlights are tributes to Neil Peart, guest performance by Amy Mann joined for Time Stand Still, marking her first live performance of the song with Rush. I'm not sure I'm familiar with that. I'm not even sure I know that song. They have a new drummer, obviously, everybody's talked about. Tom Sawyer is introduced by South Park animated short, which is pretty funny. And Xanadu was used as a concert opener for the first time in the band's 50-year history. So the tour spans 88 shows across North America in 2026, with additional international dates in 27. The set list rotates among 35 songs from Rush's catalog. So might not be the set list we got if they come to when they come to the Garden, but this was the opening of the tour, June 7th at the Forum, Kia Forum in Los Angeles. What song, Jeff, is missing? I don't like the opener either, but what song is there something missing here? I know you said Witch Hunt you'd like to see.
Oh, I would really have to sit and think about it. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple songs in there that I would like to see. I know I don't see Trees on there.
Yep, that's another good one. Yeah, I don't know if they play that live, but that should be that's a song
Closer to the Heart.
That's a good one. You're right. Yeah.
Cygnus X1.
Okay.
Is another good one. I'm just trying to. I mean, Hemispheres. What do they got there? That's the Trees. But I don't know. Listen, I'm sure that. And imagine being a real Rush fan and knowing this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's some. I mean, there's some. La Villa. I'm not sure I know Caravan well. Subdivisions, Free Will, Limelight. I'm not sure why Xanadu's opening it up. Why they chose that. Spirit of the Radio. I love. Again, I love this album. Distant Early Warning is a good tune. Red Barchetta is a great song. Very underrated. I think very underrated Rush tune. Red
Barchetta. Roll the Bones. I wouldn't mind hearing them do Roll the Bones. Is a good song.
That's a good one. Yeah. That's a good one.
Red Barchetta I've heard so many times. Show Don't Tell is a good song. I could do without Red Barchetta, to be honest with you.
Oh, really? I love that song. I think that is such a great tune. Yeah, I played that the second. The Trees. I don't like the open. I agree. Again, I'm going to get hung up on the encore. To me, the last song the last song of the last set for Circumstances, good tune. It's got to be Tom Sawyer. What would you say that Tom Sawyer is their most famous song?
Oh, dude, I don't know, man. You're talking Limelight, Tom Sawyer, YYZ. Just that Moving Pictures album came out and put them so over the top. Yeah. Just about anything off of that album is good. And then Subdivisions a couple years later, and Permanent Waves before Moving Pictures, all great stuff. So they had come on, they had a fucking great run. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I just think that if you were going to ask the normal rock fan who might not be a Rush fan but likes rock music, if they're going to know anything, they're going to know Tom Sawyer. They're going to know Limelight. They might know Spirit of the Radio. But to me, I think even the most lukewarm rock fan, when you play Tom Sawyer, is going to go, I know that song. That's a good song. So to me, Take Off, Great White.
Yeah, between Limelight and Tom Sawyer, without a doubt.
Yeah,
I think that they would know that without a doubt.
Yeah,
but
I would do like song number 23 should be an old time song, whether it's a Working Man or one of those old, maybe Spirit of the Radio, and then you gotta end it with Tom Sawyer. I mean, that just has to be the last song of the set. That, I'm just
you got to remember too, when you're talking about Rush fans, this is a rabid group of fans.
oh, absolutely. Very
So
dedicated.
while me and you may sit here, we're not Rush fans. We listen to Rush, but we're not Rush fans. And you may say, well, I want to hear them end with Red Barchetta or Tom Sawyer or something like that. The real Rush fans, they don't want to hear that, because that's like listening to the Trooper for us to listen to Iron Maiden,
You're right.
You got another thing coming, because that's radio hits. They want to hear the obscure stuff, like,
well,
whatever.
The guys from Black Sasquatch say Take Off and Great White North, so they're really going, that way. So you're right. Maybe the true Rush fan doesn't want to hear the radio hits. Frank Catalano is with me. You go old school, and then you end it with Tom Sawyer, even though that's almost a 50-year-old song at this point.
Yeah, no, I remember when that came out. I was 13, 14 years old. I remember getting that album before high school.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that was a pretty incredible time.
Yeah, I would say that to me, whether it's their best song, your favorite song, Tom Sawyer is the most famous song for Rush. Everybody knows it. Everybody's heard it. It's been on, you said it right. It was all over the radio for decades. That's the song, I think, when most people think of Rush, even if it's not their favorite song, it's the first one that pops into your mind. It's usually the video that people, when they say Rush is coming, you'll see the video of them playing in the house. And, I played that video so many times. Yeah.
Listen, for me, ending it with either Tom Sawyer or Limelight would have been fine.
Yeah.
Limelight is the video clip they're showing with that chick nails that fucking solo, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And
pretty sure.
My God. And anybody says that she shouldn't be playing after watching that has no idea what they're talking about. She nailed that note for note, man. It was unbelievable.
I agree. Again, I think if Peart had retired, I'd have a bigger problem with this than him passing away 10 years ago. I think it's close to 10 years now, 2016, 17. And them wanting to continue to play, I have no problem with it. And you're right. She is a monster player. I mean, she's a monster player on a kit that's nowhere near what he did. And she's pulling it off like, holy cow. She's an amazing drummer. And I think it's a kind of a breath of fresh air in the band. You know what I mean?
It's a shame when you think of some of the bands that we've witnessed in our lifetime that have called it a day, and the musicians that we've lost for the music that we love.
Yep.
It's unbelievable. And Neil Peart, no longer being with us was a huge loss, without a doubt.
Oh yeah.
But so some of this stuff is just like, Rush is going to be gone. Black Sabbath gone. Any version of Black Sabbath is gone. It's just unbelievable. The bands that you'll never get to see perform again. Rainbow, you'll never see Rainbow play again. You'll never see Maiden, an original Maiden fucking show again. Like it's never gonna happen. It's a shame, man. It's a real shame.
I got one for you. You just brought it up, and I didn't. Hold on, okay. So I'm trying to get it over here. How do I share this? Okay. This is a list of the no, that's not the one I wanted. I want the oldest bands. Hold on. I sent you a list the other day of.
See if I can find it here.
I found the ones of the rock bands, greatest rock bands. I don't want that one. I wanted the one of the oldest band still touring, just because you just brought it up. And it's like a perfect segue. If I can find that list, I don't know where it is right now. Damn it.
Is that links? Was it a link?
I don't think so. I saw it. Give me a second. I'm just scrolling one more time. Sorry, guys. Give me half a second. See if I can find that list. I got the top 30 rock bands of all time, which we can talk about if you want.
Well, that's up to you. I'll talk about whatever you want to talk about, but I know it's getting near the witching hour there for you.
Oh shit! Yeah, it's not 5. Oh, we gotta wrap it. Yeah, we have to wrap it. Shit, I didn't realize it was that late. Holy cow! This was a great show. Frankie, I didn't. I did. There was a couple of different when I went record shopping. There was a couple of tribute albums to Paul Di'Anno, and I wanted to buy it, but it was just outside my budget for that week. But I'm gonna see that one. And boy, oh boy, Jeff, this went quick. 2 hours went like that.
Yeah, man.
All right, well, guys, we got to end it here. We got to. By the way, how was the real quick? How was the gigs this weekend?
Good. Everything went good. Everything went good. Thank God.
Did you see Tom Motz out there by any chance?
Yes, I did.
You did. Okay, I knew his band played.
Yeah, I saw.
Before you?
They were after us.
Oh, okay. So did you run into Gary and the crowd?
Gary who?
Barbario?
No, I did not. I did not see him.
Yeah, they were there. I was curious if you ran into anybody.
The way that I saw Tom Motz, the way that they had the place set up, they had all of the trucks on the perimeter.
Right.
So, and the middle was wide open. Like there was nobody in the middle of this place.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And there was several hundred people there.
Really?
Yeah. I'd say there was anywhere from between 200 to 300 people.
Very nice.
There was only a handful of them watching the band.
Oh, everybody was kind of circling the outside.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Listen, you know what? It was cool. Bill Graziano's amp blew off the stage.
Oh, really?
Off the thing he had. Yeah, caught some air, and next thing you know, all of a sudden, here's the thud, and I look rolling, and there's this amp coming at me. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then Bill's running after it.
It's a Spinal Tap moment. You guys had a Spinal Tap moment.
Yeah, well, thank God it didn't hit him. He's
sure
would have got fucking killed.
Oh boy, well that's great. I'm glad you guys had a good time, and I'm sure it went well. And I saw some clip. I think it sounded good. So I'm glad and appreciate you still doing it out there. And again, we got a lot to talk about in the future. Maybe Knicks championship next week. I got a bunch of lists we didn't get to. Frankie, I'm going to watch the documentary myself. We got a lot to. Good night, Frankie. Good night to Anthony and everybody else who hung with us tonight. We appreciate it.
See you later, Frank.
We'll be back next Thursday night to do it all over again when Jeff and I get together. So hopefully you guys will have a great weekend and come on back next Thursday when Jeff and I get together. So for Jeff and myself and everybody here at Hard Rocket Sports, I want to say thank you. Have a great rest of your night, a great rest of your week, a great weekend, and a great next week. Come on back next Thursday night when Jeff and I get together.
Anthony.
Good night, Anthony. And when Jeff and I get to do this all over again. So for Jeff and myself and everybody here at the Hard Rocket Sports Show, good night and enjoy your week. Tefe, I'll talk to you off the air.
All right, dude, you got it.
All right, my man.
Later.
Where is my end the show?